Hello, everyone. Welcome. We'll be starting shortly. Hello, everyone. How you all doing? We are live. We are live. How is everyone doing? You all good? You all good? Hope you're all good. I'm just getting everything sorted here. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, please say hello to my esteemed cosplay guest for today, the legend that is XV-22 Cosplay, Mike Craney. So here we go. Everyone say hi. Mike, how you doing, fella? You all right?
I'm not too bad yourself.
Good. I'm not bad. I've been busy making an orc chopper today, so that's been fun. Let's turn you up a little bit. There we go. Right. So, how's everyone in chat? We good? How's the audio, video? We all good? I hope we are. Hope we are. I always like to wait for the chat to catch up a little bit so that we can get some info on what's going on. Make sure that everything's good. Right. So, this is Mike Craney. Everyone say hi. He is a Tau cosplayer, literally specifically just a Tau cosplayer, isn't that right?
Yeah, I've got Tau Pathfinder. I've had the XV-22 battlesuit, and I've got the XV-25 stealth battlesuit, which you see behind me there.
Woo!
It's more interesting. I have to build everything myself. I've got to think about it a lot more, which I enjoy.
Well, I mean, coming from your YouTube videos that I've been watching recently, which seem to be really good quality, like from what I've been watching, and I've been legit quite interested in what you've been doing because it's really cool watching you do stuff. The way you took apart the large rotary gun that you've got, the way you just took it apart and it just came apart, but it was like one of those really pleasing videos where it's like you unscrewed this and then this came off nice and gently. You unscrewed this and then that came away from that. And it was really nicely put together.
Yeah, the barrels on the burst cannon, the actual mechanism that allows that to spin, it took me weeks to design in Fusion 360.
So what are you using motor wise? Are you just using a drill or
No, well, that was my first plan, but I found that the actual bolt that the barrel uses as an axle sits too close to the center beam, so I can't actually get the chuck of the drill around it.
around it then? Yeah.
One of my friends suggested to use a couple of actually wheels, like Lego wheels.
Oh
so
yeah.
that if anyone ever sticks their hand out and grabs the barrel, the wheel will just actually slide
It'll
against
just slip on it. So
breaking the mechanism.
that's cool. So it, like on like the machinery that has a PTO, it's got a clutch that slips.
Exactly.
So
Yeah,
it doesn't.
So it slips. You can just about see it there.
That's cool. So damage basically is null and void. There'll be no if someone accidentally catches it, or if you catch it on something, it'll.
Yeah, it'll just slip. It won't actually bind like teeth will or a chain or anything along those lines.
See, that's just because I mean, if you had gone for the teeth side of things, as you said, the teeth would just grind, and then there would be risk of them just.
Oh yeah,
shearing
it would either injure the person that grabbed it, or it will shred the teeth off the gear and cause all sorts of all sorts of damage.
Yeah.
Actually, on the barrels themselves. It took a while to design.
Right. How long did it take you to design?
The mechanism on the barrels, it took me about 3 weeks. I think my record for length of time on designing is the opening of the stealth suit. The actual mechanism that opens.
Don't. That is such a it's such a beautiful mechanism. When we were at Warhammer Fest, it was just gorgeous. The way you would you're in the video and you're just there and it's just open. It's like
it's
like a proper canopy. It's just, it's the best. Don't worry, you can catch it if you want.
The legs on the stand are broken. So it doesn't fully go over. It just kind of leans to one side.
Yeah,
I need to sit down and design a proper PVC stand for it.
Oh, don't even. I was thinking PVC. I ended up going with full metal and old chair wheels for my Space Marine stand.
Well, the reason why I might even go for steel, but I want to go PVC just purely because I can disassemble it and put it in my car and take it with me wherever I go.
Fair. I mean,
reassemble it and have nice chunky wheels to drag it around on.
The only thing that's mounted on this is the centerpiece that I can't take off. Well, I can take it off, but I wouldn't because it was a dick to put on. It was like had to get in the bolts through a pipe. But right. Anyway, so that we just a little bit of natter there. Sorry about that. Right, we have questions. Like we have questions. Like Mike has been by the looks of things, people have been really excited for me to have you on. I haven't done a list on my cosplay page of my upcoming cosplay guests, so I might do that after the stream. Put up a list of cosplay
I think you should,
guests.
'cause I'd be quite interested in seeing that myself.
Because I've asked a fair few people. Some people were like, you should get Adam Savage on. Don't even. I would love to get Adam Savage on. That would be amazing. If you guys want to look at Mike's Facebook or Instagram, they are in the chat. Thank you so much to my mod. Also, just before we get really full on into it, Mr. Titan 40K, can I just say thank you so much for the subscription, for the 1 month tier subscription. I've had two of my friends sub with Amazon Prime, but I think you are the first proper subscriber I've had in terms of during a stream. So I just want to say a huge thank you, Mr. Titan 40K. I'm really bad at usernames and remembering who people are with usernames. So, if I'm completely ruining it, let me know. That or message me somewhere else so I know who you are exactly, because that would be really cool. Mike and I have known each other for not actually that long, I don't think. It's been a while, but not like ages.
No, I mean, we met, Sci-Fi Weekender.
Yeah, we met at Sci-Fi Weekender, and I think we met when I was not cosplaying. I was Professor Very Mental.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, Professor Very Mental.
And you were in XV-22, which is the helmet behind you there. You're in XV-22. And you know me, as soon as I saw Warhammer cosplayer, I had to go up and get a picture and say hi and everything. I never thought it would get to the point where this would happen. Like, we would be friends, go to a bunch of conventions together and do this. But I do remember... wow. Brilliant. Thank you so much. Live action chair. Oh my god, live action. Right. I follow Nick from Sneaky Zebra, who is live action Pixel, and when he gets up to go get a drink, he leaves his gaming chair there, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's live action chair!" And someone's made an account called Live Action Chair, and I was on his stream the other night, and it's so funny. It just made me cry with laughter. Anyway, the first Sci-Fi Weekend is when we met when I was very mental, but the second one. We met at. I believe my mod has the link to the video. I've already prepped the video.
I was there in my Tau Pathfinder.
You were your Tau Pathfinder, yeah. That was... I did promise you, we were like, when we see each other next, when you're in your cosplay, we'll have to have a battle. And it was like, absolutely. So that link should appear in chat at some point. Because it was
I'm just glad that as part of that costume, I built in a actual helmet into the helmet.
Yeah, because I was donking you on the head with it was a rubber latex chainsaw at the time. But
yeah, it was the first one because I think I was closer than you thought I was.
Yeah, because we were on an incline, so it was like...
Yeah, I saw a few stars after that first hit.
Oh man, I just love the fact that you took your knife and you just like just on my helmet, and I was just like, oh god, because it was so loud. There we go. There is the link in chat for people who want to see that video. That video was outstanding. I'm not gonna lie, that video was great. Right, so yeah, we better get started with all these questions because we have 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 questions. I think, if I'm right, this is the most questions I have had for a cosplay guest. So,
brilliant.
That is absolutely awesome. Right. It's a mimic.
Iron within, iron without.
Kamicus, thank you so much for the follow. Really appreciate it. We're just about to start with the questions, so welcome. Okay, what I'll do... I'll start off with some of the basic ones I've got, because what I've decided to do, I've got a list of just standard cosplay questions that I ask everyone, then there's obviously all the ones we got on Instagram and stuff. So, how long have you been cosplaying, first of all? Because, I mean, I would love to know that myself.
I've been cosplaying what I would call cosplay for at least 10 years. I've been built... I didn't know... to be honest, until I was in my 20s, I didn't know cosplay was a thing. But previous to that, prior to that, every year Halloween was my favorite time because I could just pull out and build a random costume. I made Predator at one point. When the Fallout game, Fallout 3 came out, I made a Fallout costume. I've always been making costumes, but I didn't, as I said, I didn't know cosplay was a thing until I'd already finished university.
So 10 years. So let's see now that I've been Well, I've been cosplaying about 9 years, if that. I think it's more, maybe. I don't know, but that's because I didn't know you'd been cosplaying 10 years. I thought it'd be less than that, but fair play to you, 10 years.
Yeah, thereabouts. I mean, only small builds. I was building, as I said, Fallout costumes and such, but I was working actually on a War Machine outfit prior to the XV-22. I have a photo floating around with me wearing that helmet with the chest piece of my War Machine.
What a weird combination.
I know, but it worked. I went as generic sci-fi robot. It just worked.
Really interesting question in the chat for you there. Question, Rob, from Mike. For Mike, aren't we playing D&D tonight?
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. I'm glad.
We're starting a new campaign in about an hour's time.
I hope we don't go over that. If we go over, I do apologize if we go over. Let me know otherwise, and I hope we get through all the questions. So, funny thing, you said you'd been cosplaying 10 years, and one of the questions I've got is cosplay something you'll see yourself doing in 10 years' time?
Oh, definitely. The one thing I hate doing is sitting down and doing nothing. I can't stand to sit there and watch the TV all day. I've got to keep active. I've got to keep my mind out. I've got to be doing something. Idle hands and all that.
I can't stand doing it myself. Like, I mean, I'll watch TV at night, or I'll watch a stream at night.
Yeah, well, I'll lie down in bed or watch it while I, wind down for the day. But I've been building stuff since I was a child. My parents wouldn't buy me the most expensive toys because I would take them apart.
Oh, don't even. I was given a bunch of old stuff to take apart because I was taking apart stuff that was working. So I'd be like, look, here's like an old phone, take it apart. Well, luckily, I took apart this old rotary phone and I put it back together. It still didn't work, like it needed actual parts to replace, but I took it apart and put it back together like it was. And then literally 6-7 months ago, I bought a Bakelite phone that needed fixing and I fixed it and it works now. I've got it upstairs. It actually works. So I think it's the best thing to do, if anything, is like, if your kid's interested in fixing something, teach them how to fix it. And I think that's the best way. I think
the best. My parents actually figured it out and started buying me Lego instead, because I could just disassemble the Lego, reassemble the Lego and then moved on to Lego Technic and everything, and moved on to actual electronics from there.
That literally would be what you call it? Was it Lego Technic?
Yeah, Lego Technic.
Yeah, Lego Technic. Hey, it is Matt from the 601st. Hello, Matt. How are you doing? You all right, Matt? Thank you for joining us. Right, okay, yeah. Right. Do you prefer, when cosplaying, to build and sort of work on your own, or would you prefer, if anything, to work with others, if you had, like, a choice?
It depends what I'm doing. Unfortunately, that doesn't answer your question.
Well, no, I mean, I get where you're coming from. You mean, like, if you're building something for you, you'd rather work alone. But if you're building
I don't mind having an extra pair of hands about the place, But if it's a group project, of course, then I like the idea of everyone having an input to it.
Yeah.
But when it comes to my own personal projects, I tend to have that single vision.
Oh, yeah. And it's hard to get across to people.
Yeah, exactly. I'll hit a brick wall occasionally, and I'll sit down with my friends and I'll just vent the problems I'm having. And have you tried this? Have you tried that? No, I've not thought of that. I'll give that a go.
See, that I love, because that's literally exactly what I do with funny thing with Harry and Desiree, my mod Dragonheart. So literally the same thing. It's just I vent to them, and usually Desiree will come up with something and I'll just go, and it'll click and I'll go out and do it. Also, Lego Technics are also good for simple chainswords, because she's got chainswords that run with Lego Technic, which is the coolest thing. Also, apparently Mike likes to help on other people's builds, which is good, because so do I. I love doing that stuff. Hey, Ranger Krieg. Look, everyone's coming in. I love it. Everyone's here.
That's why there's a space marine behind me.
That's why there's a space marine behind you.
Yeah.
And that's going to be White Scars first, and modified, then Iron Hands.
Well, it's going to have optional extras, shall we say.
Optional extras. I like that. Okay, so what is your favorite cosplay? If you could pick out of all the cosplays that you have, your absolute favorite, even ones you don't have anymore, because I just, even if the ones you don't have anymore, which one would you say is your favorite?
Uh, well, XV-22 definitely, because I love the character. I love the lore. So if you don't know, it's Shazo Kais from the Dawn of War games on the PC. That's the character. He actually wears the same armor that Shadow Sun wears, but the male variant of it.
Yeah.
But he's pitched as this. He's the students of Monat or Army of One.
Army of One.
So he goes in on his own and he does everything by himself. And there's just something alluring about that I really, really like. The recent books, there's a book that came out by Black Library called War of Secrets, and he features in that where he hunts down dark angels.
Ooh, hunts them down. That I like.
Yeah, he hunts them down in a Tau battlesuit, Ghost Keel. And it's a lot of fun. I'm not going to say any spoilers, but I really do enjoy it.
I was going to say, just in case someone in chat's currently reading it, like, don't say anything. We're being invaded by 601st, which is perfectly fine, but we are being invaded by the 601st.
I'm being hunted down by the Imperial Guard. This is not good.
They had their chance at Warhammer Fest, but they didn't take it.
Yeah. Well, I was even stood behind them after Warhammer Fest, and they didn't see me.
They didn't see you. The future's bright, the future's orange. Oh, for God's sake.
The XV-22 is my favorite one, but if I had the choice of the one I would create, if I could choose any to build, it would be Commander Farsight in his
yes, absolutely, yes. For like, I know my friend Brecken's the same. He's a straight out Tau player. He is Tau through and through. And yeah, Commander Farsight, he would absolutely.
I know there's one guy down in Australia that's currently working on a full scale Crisis battlesuit.
Did you say a full scale?
Full scale.
Wow. Does he live in a hangar or?
By the looks of things, yes, he has one.
Okay, because that is. You need to link me that after the stream because I need to see this.
Yeah, I had a chat with him about it at one point, and he was asking me some questions on how to do like the paneling and the skin and stuff like that.
I need to see that.
I'll take out the link. I'll show you.
That would be amazing.
I need to send him a message to see how he's getting on.
Oh, I can't get over that. Full scale. That's crazy.
I think outside of Brisbane, but I'm not sure.
Oh, so is that the same side as Terry from B Cosplay? I don't know.
I don't know where Terry is.
Neither do I. Australia's so big, I have no idea. Okay, so far, and I'm not sure whether it might be that one behind you, but what is the most expensive cosplay you've ever made to date?
Yeah, it's stealth. Yeah.
I did wonder whether it was that one because I was just kind of like.
Oh. Well, I spent a ridiculous amount of money just on R&D.
Oh God, yeah.
I bought. If we just speak about like the opening mechanism of it, I went through at least 4 iterations before I arrived at the one that works. So
how does it lock though? Because you know when you lifted it up.
Yeah.
How does it lock?
There's so if you think of it, so it's shaped like this.
Yeah.
And there's a hinge here.
Yeah.
But on top there are 2 rails that slide back. So I lift it up and it slides over the top of me.
Ah, that's so good.
On top. It took a long time to come up with that idea. It was one of those where I was driving along and all of a sudden just went, ah!
You just want to pull over and start writing it down.
Yeah, write it down quickly before I forget.
Have you ever? This is just a random one from me because it's happened to me a bunch of times. Have you ever been lying in bed sleeping and all of a sudden, boom, the idea will hit you like a ton of bricks, and you've gotten out of bed and doodled it and written it down and.
At least once a month.
Oh, easy. It's
at least once insane. A month. I'm back out of bed and I'm at my PC. I'm quickly jotting it all down, or I've opened Fusion 360 to whip up a 3D version of it.
I love that. Just whip up a 3D. I couldn't whip up a 3D anything. Lightburn's taken me long enough to get that, and even now I consider myself a novice still, even though I can actually put something down and just do it really quickly. So we've got a lot of people talking in chat, and I just want to say thank you to Finchworld for the follow. Really, really appreciate that. This is a busy night tonight. Pete, you're popular. You're a very popular man. I didn't know Tower this popular.
Well, it can be, We don't shoot you in the face first. We join you. We ask you to join before we shoot you in the face.
Oh, absolutely, for the greater good.
For the greater good.
Have you heard a little tangent? Again, this is from my friend Brecken. Have you heard that there are these people who have been worshipping? I'm going to get this wrong. He's going to hate me for this, but they've been worshipping the greater good as if it was an entity, and it's now created
The god of the greater good.
the god of the greater good as possibly another one of the
Yeah, it features heavily in some of the more recent Black Library books.
Yep.
To avoid spoilers, I'm not going to tell you which book it's in.
No. That'd be a good one. That'd be good.
But yes, I really like the idea and the concept of it. And that's what causes the fourth sphere to then execute all of their auxiliaries.
Yeah, because what's happening now is there are people hunting those psychers down who are who have manifested it just so they can kill them, so they don't manifest like a greater good. The god of the greater good. Oh God.
My concept is nuts, but the problem I have with it is they didn't stick it in a main rule book. So the populace at large, the people who actually play the game, only half of them know that story. So when they released the story of them executing all the auxiliaries, there was complete uproar. There was virtual riots on Facebook. Oh, the Tau Empire will do this. So well, if you read the books, you know that actually they would.
Not sure what happened there. I think the audio peaked again, but it's fine. Sorry for anyone wearing headphones. That was loud on my end. I don't know if that was loud for anyone else. That last bit. That was happening before the stream. Not sure what's happening there, but that's fine. But yeah, no. I genuinely, I want to see something happen with that. Like I want to see it just kick off big time and for it to properly manifest itself.
Well, it may even go to that point where it ends up being a civil war in Tau between the factions that the factions that side with the auxiliaries and factions that want to kill them.
Oh God, yeah.
And then of course you get Farsight who just wanders in occasionally and
just messes stuff up.
Well, he just does a hot drop a clock with his battle suits to show off, really.
Do a few spins and Yeah, really hating Iron Cosplay. That, again, wasn't me. We're not sure whose end that is. We're not sure whose end that was. I do apologize. It has been happening occasionally, so sorry if anyone's wearing headphones. Do apologize. Thank you, Roughman01. I think that's how you say that. Thank you for the follow. Really appreciated. Right. Oh, this is a good one, right? This was one from Instagram. What is your favorite convention? And it's kind of interesting because I'm trying to figure out myself, which one would you say is your favorite convention?
Sci-Fi Weekender.
It is Sci-Fi Weekender. I wasn't sure whether you were going to say Warhammer Fest or Sci-Fi Weekender. I wasn't sure which one you were going to pick, but yeah, Sci-Fi Weekender
is good, but Sci-Fi Weekender is 4 of those.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like Warhammer Fest is one big day, but just and the fact that you can wear cosplay and just go around and drink, like
yeah.
I think I know who Roughman01 is. He said, "Go."
Yeah, I know who he is.
You know who it is?
Yeah.
Who do you think it is?
Well, I know who it is.
You know who it is because I don't think
Yeah.
I'm guessing is it Andrew?
Nope.
Oh,
it's no one.
Oh, it's no one I know. Roughman01. Thanks for the follow, though, even though you're telling me to go dig a trench. A funny thing, yesterday I was digging a trench. It actually was. It's just a small trench, yeah.
It's quite amusing as well, because I don't think he realizes that you're doing a Krieg costume.
Yeah. Me and Ranger are Krieg, where I'm going to be doing a Kriegy boy, and then Harry's going to be in his commissar, and he's going to boss me around. So it's going to be...
Oh, I can't wait to see that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I've got the gun designed ready to go. I just need to get the campaign finished, and once my campaign is finished, I'll be able to use that money then to put everything together and actually get the whole thing done. So I'm really excited to get that done. So excited. Right, I wasn't sure which one you were going to pick, but I'm glad you picked Sci-Fi Weekend because
I think I designed my stealth suit to open the front, so I can get to the back.
Yes, indeed. Finchworld has subscribed with Twitch Prime. Thank you so much. Let me just give you a big ol'... Really appreciate that. This is insane. This is my first affiliate stream, and I've just gained 2 subscribers, and I'm absolutely over the moon. Thank you so much. Right. Okay, we've got some good ones. I'm cherry picking some of the best ones because I don't want us to go over an hour. Right. What is cosplay to you? Like, as a person, like what is cosplay to you?
It is the ability to be as creative as my mind will allow.
See, that I like. I've had a lot of answers to that question.
There are no restrictions when it comes to what I can create with my mind. Of course, my physical abilities are something completely different.
Oh yeah.
I'll still. I tend to pick projects that I have to learn new skills for. So I'm going into it blind every time. With the burst cannon, I had to learn a lot of Fusion 360, which is a software I'm not familiar with. My software of choice is actually 3ds Max, but that's more of a character creation tool than
That's
a
interesting. I thought
engineering standpoint.
I thought you'd been full on into Fusion 3. Like, I thought you knew your stuff. Like that's what you'd been using like all the time.
Well, I just spent the better part of a year and a half playing with it.
That's insane. I had no idea. I actually properly had no idea. That's amazing.
Well, going into this project, I like, especially with the burst cannon, as I said, a lot of the parts are 3D printed. A lot of the actual internal components. So I needed a way I could accurately plot them out in 3 dimensions, and you can't get that level of accuracy for engineering parts in 3ds Max. But Fusion 360 you can, because that's what it's designed for.
See, I was literally just thinking there now. I was looking over at my laptop because every time I've done something on like Lightburn, it's 2D, but you got to think of it as 3D. So you got to make the parts separate and then separate them all and then cut them individually and then glue them and actually make them thing. But I couldn't imagine doing that completely in 3D.
Yeah, Fusion 360, it's both 2D or 3D. You can create lines, you can create splines, you can create curves, circles. And then once you're happy with that, if it's supposed to be a 3D object, you can then extrude it out and it becomes a 3D object.
That is great. Because I know Andrew does a lot of that stuff, Nocturne's Forge.
Yeah, it does a lot more than you think it does. I mean, a couple of the parts that I've done, the front of the burst cannon where the barrel is and the axle, I've actually put into Fusion 360's stress tester to see which areas will break.
Wait, it's
got a stress simulator.
That's insane. That is insane.
And you don't need to buy it in the crafting world because you can get an education license. So for home use, non-commercial, you can get a free license from Autodesk.
See, that is the best because I know, for example, Armorsmith and stuff. Terry bought me a copy of Armorsmith, and then.
I bought Armorsmith within months of it being released.
And then, sorry everyone. I know it was loud. Sorry. The mic did the thing again. I know. We're not sure why it's doing it, but it's doing it, and I'm not sure why. I do apologize. For example, Lightburn. I bought a copy of that, but they give you 3 codes. But because I had to reinstall recently, I need another code, so I had to email them and be like, "Can I have a code?" And they're like, "You have to log in," and I don't know my login details for my Lightburn, so I'll probably have to figure that out over the next couple of days. So yeah. Right. Okay. Let's see now then. Brilliant! Yeah, definitely. Right. This one's from Instagram. What is your most favorite part of your cosplay? Like whether it be your awesome canopy, or whether it's your gun, or whether it's your tube arms that you had at Warhammer Fest.
I forgot about that.
Thank you very much, Skem Dave. Skem Dave. Thank you much, Dave. Dave for follow. Thank you, Dave.
This is the control panel inside my stealth suit.
Oh man, alive! Is that actually, are those flip switches?
Yeah, power it on. It's how I turn everything on. I didn't have to have switches like this, but I really wanted to be able to feel like I'm actually turning a battle suit on.
Oh man,
But I've got a 7-inch screen that hooks to a camera that is an infrared camera, so I can actually see in the dark while I'm wearing the suit.
This is beyond in this is getting to cosplay levels that I never thought I'd be getting to. Like I'm still just wearing foam helmets, and there's you flicking switches on with the infrared cameras.
I really wanted that Iron Man feel.
I can tell.
But this is what happens when my creative ideas are not kept in check. I end up with infrared camera. I'll come in with night vision goggles at one point, or just a hologram.
I'm really happy that you don't have someone restricting you, because you make the fucking best stuff, and I love seeing you like just go around with like when you had your stealth suit and we met. Who did we meet? Duncan from Warhammer Fest. And we met Duncan, and he was such a good sport because you had a photo with him. Then you were like, "Can we have one of just Duncan looking like he's with the stealth suit?" And Duncan was like, "Hell yeah!" and just put his arm up, and you walked off, and just the things like that. And the fact that you're totally up for doing it, it's nice, because there are too many serious cosplayers out there who are just like, "No, I got to stay in character, got to do the seriousness and do this and it's just it doesn't work.
Oh no! Like if I'm posing for a serious photo, I'll be serious about it. But if I'm posing for a silly photo, I'll be silly about it.
It's the best. It's the best.
There's no point in being serious if you can't also be silly.
Bit of a I don't know. We've gone from the sort of the good sort of stuff to like sort of the bad sort of stuff now. A question on Instagram. What's your least favorite part of cosplay?
Least favorite?
Because I don't know.
Muscle strain and injury.
And hangovers if you're sci-fi weekendering.
Yeah, hangovers. Just to give you an example, and I'm still really sorry about this, but Angel knows really well how heavy that is to wear.
I think we all remember that from Sci-Fi Weekend, and I think she definitely. So I think she gets PTSD.
In the lift, my helmet fell off and hit her square in the face.
But Mike was just stood there, and he just leant down like that, and his helmet just went whoop, and it just went donk right onto her head. The poor girl. Yeah. But it was fine. She's fine. She's still alive.
But it's having the times like that where you learn, and because of that and because of that suit, I learned that from that point on, I never wanted anything on my head again. So the stealth suit is entirely on my shoulders. Nothing touches my head.
That's the best. You watch out one day now. You're going to open it and you're not going to realize there's someone there, and you're just going to donk them right in the chin.
Well, that's why I've got the camera. I kid you not. I'm one step away from putting parking sensors on it.
Just beep 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 beep.
Well, the jetpack sticks out about a meter behind me.
Oh wow! A meter, literally.
Actually, it's probably more like 2-3 feet. I've got it stood up to the side.
You got it next to you. I was wondering what you were looking at. That's crazy.
It's about 2 or 3 feet. They were previewing the Space Marine action figure at Warhammer Fest, and I went over to check it out. And if some of the other guys weren't there, I think it was the 601st, saved it, because I almost took out the cabinet with my jetpack.
When you turned around.
I turned around and almost hit the cabinet.
Can you imagine what the guy at Bandai would think? He'd be like, oh my god! Just the poor guy at Bandai just panicking because his model has been knocked over on the floor. Oh god.
I think everyone. I didn't know about this until about an hour later when I got out of the suit and they told me. But thinking about it, I think everyone's heart skipped the beat bar mine.
Oh yeah, if you don't know, it's fine. I mean,
I was in a world of my own. It's fine.
It's the same when I'm in mine with Ranger Creek.
I'm more concerned about not killing a small kid.
But honestly, if you ever do flip around and just knock a bunch of people over, I think they'll be fine with it.
Yeah. Well, luckily it's soft material.
Exactly, it's all foam. You'll be fine. You'll probably feel it, wouldn't you? You'd be like,
I'd feel the resistance definitely. It attaches directly to my shoulders. I will know something's there.
We just had emergency 601st spotting services.
Yeah.
So, what would your advice be for someone starting off in cosplay, but specifically for a Tau cosplay?
Just get started. All you need is a sharp knife and a ruler. Obviously, foam. You need
Yeah,
foam.
that's a
That's a
given.
given, really, isn't it? But it doesn't take special tools. I mean, I've got a 3D printer, yes, but that doesn't mean everything I do is 3D printed. I use it as just another tool in my toolbox. I started out at my dad's with a sharp knife and a roll of foam. Actually, it was the foam mats I started with.
Oh, same.
Until
I
I
still
discovered
use
like
formats.
polyprops and stuff like that. It was all I had was a Stanley knife. If you can build the Tau Fire Warrior helmet, you can build anything.
Yep.
Because the amount of awkward shapes and angles and curves just on that one helmet, it really tests your patience.
I know Dylan contacted me and we spoke a bit, and then obviously I told him he should contact you at some point. He's done so now, hasn't he?
Yeah, Viola Cosplay, I think his page is.
Yeah, on
he has.
Instagram.
He's done a fantastic job on the helmet.
It's crazy, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
amazing. When I saw him at the event,
told
me
him
and
as much.
Harry did.
I think his helmet's better than mine.
Oh, have you told him that?
Yeah, I said it to him last week, I think it was. I honestly think his is better than mine.
Because like he's an extremely young cosplayer. He's what, 12, 13?
Around that, I think.
Around 12 or 13. I've met him at a bunch of events. There's a bunch of pictures of me killing him, and there's a bunch of pictures of him like attacking me, and it's amazing. He's such a. He just wants to know as much information as possible so he can do it. And wow, has he been doing it? Like, he's just done the thigh guards and the stuff for his armor. I know he's just done the chest piece quite recently.
Yeah, he's been doing the pulse carbine as well.
Oh yeah, the pulse carbine. Because the one I saw him with, the one he had was an old Nerf one. I say old. He had a Nerf gun that he painted up and put LE wire around, and now he's actually making one out of foam. Thanks to you.
Yeah,
that is awesome. See,
he sends me pictures every now and again. I think he's working on the side detail at the moment, and it's looking really promising. It's looking really good.
Because that's what I'd love to see more of is his stuff. Because I mean, he only had 12 followers on Instagram, and then I shared his page, and he got 100 overnight, which made me very, very happy. Because we need to support new, fresh, young cosplayers. Because without them, then this isn't going to carry on. It's just going to stop, and then
exactly. Going back to your question as well, I think there aren't that many Tau cosplayers out there, and I think that's because everyone thinks, we don't have hooves. There's plenty of auxiliaries in the Tau Empire. There's plenty of humans. Farsight Enclaves, for example, has an entire planet dedicated to humans. So there's no reason why you need to be a Tau. You can always be a human.
Just in like Tau armor.
Yeah, in one of the short stories, there is an Inquisitor who's actually part of the Tau Empire, and he's in a Crisis battlesuit.
Oh. That's insane. I wonder how much heresy there's going to be in the chat. I'm just have a look and see how many people. Heresy! This is heresy! Just angry people. Well, I'm not going to lie. I'm glad you're supporting him because I don't know anything about the Tau. So it's nice to know he's got somebody who can literally back him up properly. Like, everything. It'd be different if he was like, how do I make an Iron Warrior this, Iron Warrior that? I would know, but Tau stuff, I know nothing.
Well, because there's so limited Tau cosplayers out there, there isn't an awful lot of resources out there. I mean, we have 3D models from games and such, but other than that, there isn't really anything to it. Which was one of the reasons why I started recording everything onto YouTube, just purely to have more documentation for people to follow out there. A lot of the stuff that I've had to do, especially the XV-22, I completely figured that out from ground up on my own, and it was
I remember.
There isn't.
Remember asking you at Sci-Fi Weekender. Did you wear the pepper? Did you get the pep files for it and everything? And you were like, hell no, did it all myself. And I was like, god damn. Because
there weren't any pep files. I had to make the pep files. And the moment I made the pep files and finished the suits, I uploaded it to the Facebook groups so that other people can use it.
Have you seen any after?
No, the only other one at XV-22 I saw was a human scale one in Sweden. And I think he's donated his to a video game museum.
Well, that's kind of
That's
cool.
the only other one I've ever seen.
Well, that's kind of cool. I like that. Now, if I could ask you another one from Instagram, which is quite a good one, and I'm not sure whether you might have already said it with the helmet dropping on Angel one, but I'm not sure. But what is your funniest cosplay story?
Um, Anything that involves a lift.
Anything that involves a lift. I will have to admit, that's one link I forgot to give to my mod, which is I think it's the video clip of you at Sci-Fi Weekender.
It's one of the only video clips on my page. If viewers want to see it, just go to my page and have a look at the videos. It's me and my XV-22 trying to get into a lift.
Well, you say trying, you actually did, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
That's when the helmet fell off.
Yeah, onto Angel, the poor girl.
Yeah, and we got there. It was difficult, but yeah, a few drinks later on, afterwards, chatting about it, it was so funny. It was just very amusing to hear everyone's reactions to me trying to crab walk my way into this lift.
It is funny watching you do it because I have to do the same though. Like, but it's just funnier because you're way bigger, like in width and girth. Like you're just way bigger, like space.
I had the missile pods over each shoulder.
Oh, you had the missile.
So I kind of had to do it through every door as well.
Oh. I hope this one's going to be easier for you. I don't know if it will, but I hope it is.
Hopefully. I mean, I'm redesigning like the stealth suits. It has an antenna that sticks straight out, so it kind of adds another foot onto my height just from the way it sticks up.
Oh.
But I'm trying to design a spring-loaded mechanism that so it'll bend down every time I hit a door and then spring back up again. It's just going to be a pivot and some springs, but I haven't gotten around to doing it. It's one of my planned upgrades for my suit.
So you'll do it at some point. It'll have like so doors aren't an issue.
Doors aren't an issue anymore. I can just walk straight under them.
And we got Caxor saying doors are not made for Terminators. I'm not looking forward to doing doors in the Grey Knight, but we'll see what happens. Or lifts, in that fact. So in total, then, over the 10 years you've been cosplaying, how many conventions have you done?
There was a period in time where I went to Manchester regularly. I went to Manchester Comic Con at least once a year, and then there was the local ones as well. Wigan in particular, because I lived quite close to Wigan. And then getting older, there was a period of time where I couldn't go anymore because I had commitments, work and such. And then I came out of that when I built my XV-22, and I debuted my XV-22 at Manchester Comic Con on the Sunday. It was supposed to be the Saturday, but when I went to suit up around lunchtime, I found that I'd left my helmet back at home.
Damn.
And that's only because I hadn't slept that night. The paint was still drying on the drive there.
Oh, God. So your car must have been a bit white by the time you got there?
I definitely. By the time I got there and I finished for the day, I think when I went to the car and suited up, I found that I didn't have anything for the suit. I was just so tired and so exhausted from spending all night finishing it that I just couldn't go on that day. So I was like, I'll go home, I'll get rested, I'll get a shower, get some food, and then I will come back bright and early on the Sunday, and I'll be straight in the suit. And that's what I've done.
That's
so
brilliant.
I debuted it on Sunday.
Dedication is what that is.
It was a lot of fun to wear. I couldn't. It took to go about 100 meters up the street. It took me about half an hour.
Oof.
That's not because of me and my ability walking in the suit. That's because every meter or two I was stopped for a photo.
Yes, that's what I like to hear. That is what I like to hear.
But that was the best reaction I've had while doing one of the conventions.
That I like to hear because I think I walked into MCM through the main doors and we got stopped a bunch of times and we got told that we had to move because I was blocking a fire exit. I was there for ages. They were like, "You're blocking a fire exit, so you need to move," and I was like, "Oh, okay." I think Pinkthorn said, "Yeah, it's in a museum of technology now. This one, and there should be a link. It needs to be approved by my mod, so my mod's gonna hopefully approve that link, so we can have a look at it because I'd love to have a look at that myself."
Yeah, so that's the human scale one, and I think it looks really good. My one is when I built mine, I first worked out how tall he's supposed to be, and built it, and then worked out how to wear it.
And then yeah, build it first, and then figure out how it goes on. Like,
Yeah,
I think that's how I did most of the Iron Warriors. Just like, yeah, I think that'll work.
yeah, it was held together with bolts, PVC pipe, and duct tape. But it done the job for a couple of years.
Well, I did the job for how many sci-fi weekenders? 3?
Other than the one I was at with the Pathfinder, because I couldn't get.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't get it there that week.
But
So,
I think you said you had a bit more fun in your Pathfinder that time because you said it was just easier to run around.
yeah, it was. I think the one that we went to last year, towards the end of last year, I was in my Pathfinder as well. Same problem. I couldn't get my stealth suit there.
Ah.
But yeah, it was much easier to run around and see everything. But with the stealth suits actually quite. It's almost human proportions widthways. It's just really deep because of the jetpack. So I'm looking forward to wearing that at the next one.
We've had a question for you from Caxor. XV-22, how is your remaking going?
It's going very well. I've been working on the skin.
How have you gotten it so smooth? Did you just skin it with 2 mil?
Trial and error mostly.
Trial and error.
So at the core, there is it's actually built with 10 mil foam, and then over the 10 mil foam, I've got 2 mil foam, and then over the 2 mil foam, I've got 3 mil foam.
Oh right, you've done it like that.
Yeah, I've layered it. I mean, when you saw it at Warhammer Fest, you only saw the 10 mil and the 2 mil, and you could see the lines running down the suit from in between each strip of the 2 mil that I've put on. And then over the top of that, I've put the 3 mil, and it's just gotten so smooth. It's ridiculous. I'm so happy with it.
Because it looks like you've just sanded it, but it looks so smooth.
It looks how it should have looked when I originally built it.
Well, I love that you're remaking it because I just love seeing things improve more and more. That's why I'm changing the knees and changing the backpack and stuff on mine. That's why I did the shoulder randomly. Just get it changed and make it look a bit better. Like obviously, I'm going to try to make it look bashed and grimdark and stuff because obviously that's what the Iron Warriors are. But right, we are down to 1, 2, 3, 4. Our last 5 questions, and it is 7:46, so that's not too bad. Right. One question I have here, which is quite actually I wanted to know. I should have known this myself. How many fans are there in your cosplay?
Fans? What are fans?
Yes! See, this is a man who knows how to cosplay. There are all these cosplays with fans, and there's you and me with none.
I had 1 fan in my Pathfinder, and it then broke. So I pulled it out and I've not replaced it since.
See, I just sweat profusely and drink a lot, and then sweat and drink and sweat and drink, and that's all I do.
Well, being in a Space Marine, yours is quite form-fitting to your body.
Yeah.
Because I'm in a battle suit, it's lots of open space.
So it gets really moist in there, probably. It's like a jungle.
No, it's the opposite, because it's quite openly spaced, and there's gaps in the suit, so I get quite a nice breeze flowing through naturally.
Oh, lucky. Because honestly, I get them under the chest. When I go outside, it goes under the chest and between the arms, like up inside the arms. That's where I get cooled the most, and a little bit around the crotch. But
I try and stand sideways on so that the air comes in one arm and goes out the other.
Oh, I love that. We have a question for you from Quarion699. Why 2 mil and then 3 mil?
That's just how I done it at the time. my initial plan was that the 2mm would be enough to cover all of the seams. And it did. It did cover all the seams, but then I was left with the problem that I had seams in between each slice of foam. So I had to cut the foam into 2-inch strips in order for it to actually go over all of the curves of the suit, over the actual body and over the corners where the joins are. It's such an awkward shape. It's not a ball.
No, it's quite a complex shape, isn't it?
Exactly. And when I'd done it, my plan was to then, chuck a load of filler on it and sand it down, and then it'll be fine. But no matter how much filler I put on, I couldn't get rid of these seam lines. And then I made the decision when I come to do the upgrades that I was going to reskin it. But then I looked at it and went, hang on, what happens if I just do this? I just took some 3mm foam I happen to have around and stretched it over the side, over the front of it, over the front of the faceplate. Went, that's spot on. That's exactly what I need.
That'll work.
That'll work. So yeah, straight on the internet and ordered myself some 3mm foam. So it was such a scientific process of finding out this actually does the job. I'll order some more of this.
I'll give you the next one, which is from our very good friend David Roth, XV-22 Cosplay. Why aren't there any photos of your stealth suit from Warhammer Fest?
I keep leaving it turned on.
For those of you who are in chat who might not have heard what I said earlier, we actually got a picture with Duncan from Warhammer, from what you call it, what's the painting called? Citadel, the painting company, and he was there doing a meet and greet and stuff. And we had gotten to meet him previously, didn't we? We got our own little group meeting with him, which was amazing. And then we got some photos with him, everyone in their cosplays. And we got one of Mike in his stealth suit next to him, had a nice photo. And then we were like, can you stay there? And Mike go out. So he stayed there like this, and then we had a photo, and it was like, look, it's me in my stealth suit with Duncan. And it was just like, ha. Because
I'm really tempted to try and merge the two together, so it gives me that chameleon effect next to Duncan.
Like the blurred effect. Oh, yeah. So good. We have a question for you. Any good tips on glue?
Yes. Use Fix-O-Fix.
Oh, you're using Fix-O-Fix.
Fix-O-Fix, yeah. It's the best contact adhesive I've come across. It paints on with a paintbrush, and give it 5 minutes. You can stick your pieces together. If you're not happy, you can pull it apart again and restick it, pull it apart, stick it, and you've got a lot of time until it becomes permanent.
Yeah.
But it still has that grab, so your parts won't just fall. The pieces won't just fall apart while you're trying to figure out how it goes together. With such complex shapes, such as the stealth suit and the Pathfinder helmet, that was priceless. The ability to just keep adjusting the seams to actually get the parts in the right place, because it was a complete nightmare otherwise. If I was trying to use the XV-22 was built with hot glue. That was a hot glue gun project, and it was atrocious. It actually looked closer, I think, before I stuck the white cover over it. It looked closer to the Mark I Iron Man suit, where armor plates just welded together.
Oh, Ironmonger? No.
No, but the
first Iron Man suit, the one he builds in the cave.
The one he builds in a cave.
Yeah.
It looked closer to that because of the hot glue. It just made it look like welds.
I think it looked. I mean, that's what I've done with mine. My Iron Warriors. I've put a bunch of weld line stuff. Sorry, everyone. I know everyone's going deaf. It only happens occasionally, but it happens randomly, and I have no idea why. Contact cement wise, I've fallen in love with cosplayshop.be. I've fallen in love with this stuff because it's like water. It's crazy. I just literally. I haven't done it yet, but I can feel at one point I'm gonna have to pour it on something and spread it around with a big brush. But I think that'll be my next job if I ever do something huge like a shield or something.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Have you learnt close combat yet?
No, never will.
Some of the questions I've left some of the funny ones to near the end of
What
the
is this
stream.
mealy you speak of?
Mealy.
Mealy.
Okay, this one's kind of random. I got this one. I needed questions for you, but I just got this random question. I might as well ask it to you. Might as well. And don't give me favoritism because I know me and David Roth are, we're friends. But who would win in a battle, Iron Warrior or Khorne Berserker?
What, as it stands with your suits right now?
Well, I don't know. It just says who would win in a fight, an Iron Warrior or a Khorne Berserker. So I have no idea if I'm honest.
It's a bit random. For,
Yeah, I know. It's
I don't
literally
know.
just there. It's literally I just had it there.
Actually, the Iron Warrior, because you'll just shoot the Khorne Berserker in the face with a long range weapon.
Say again.
Probably the Iron Warrior, because you'll just shoot the Khorne Berserker in the face with a long range weapon.
With a long range weapon. I got distracted there for a second because I just saw an and it was from Dragonheart saying, the more his sound hiccups and that happens, the more you'll lose out in our competition. I'm not going to lose in the competition because superior Iron Warrior-ness is going to win. We also have, if you ask nicely, the 601st can give you a demo in melee combat. And also, Finchwell said, depends how far apart they are.
But that's why I said it. That's why I was so unsure of it. Because, it depends how far apart they are.
You technically have already answered this one, but it's another one of the funny ones. How come we didn't see you at Warhammer Fest 2019? Funny. There is a bunch of those, and
apart from one guy. Actually, no, tell lie. It was Peachy. Peachy from the Warhammer team community. He was walking past me at one point and he shouted at me, "I can see you."
Peachy. You will go down. No, I won't. Sorry, there's like a fight going on in the chat between me and my mod. So yeah. Right. Okay. So this is one I've asked, but I'm not sure whether I'll keep this one in. I'll ask you and see how you answer it, and I might not keep this question in. But how do you view yourself as a cosplayer? Like you yourself.
How do I view it? I'm the person that comes out with random solutions to random problems I didn't have in the first place.
See, I think that really works because that is you to a T. Because
I tend to overthink what I want to achieve, and I end up with infrared cameras and power on switches, and
I'm not gonna lie.
Some random solutions to something that could have been really simple.
I'm not gonna lie. One day I'm gonna have to put on the top half of your suit and just play with the switches, just because I love a good toggle switch. I love a good flick up, click, flick up, click. Like I repaired my I did repair my my heat gun once when the switch broke with a big toggle switch. Did you get your sandwich? Oh no, it's happening in the chat again. XV-22, check out that link there. He is dancing our tower commander from Sweden. There's a link in the chat if you want to check that out, Mike.
I'll have to check that out a bit. It might be better to message it over afterwards.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Right. So, I mean, I've got this question. I wasn't sure whether I was going to ask you it specifically, but
come on, you're chaos. You're chaos. You don't care.
Yeah, no, you're right, absolutely. Right. When you went to Warhammer Fest, you had the tubes that I use for the legs and stuff, but you had them in your arms. Remember you did the wacky waving inflatable arm inflating tube men thing?
Yeah.
How do the tubes attach into your arms? Because you have the separate arms with the gloves on, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, the funny thing is, those arms are the actual tubes are too big. I ordered the wrong size.
Damn.
They were designed to go inside the gloves.
If you want to grab it, you're welcome to. Like this will be great to see. Like.
So they were designed to actually go inside.
Mm.
They were so large, I had to put them around the outside.
That's how you.
Which is
where
it filled in.
Causes some slight damage and marking to it then.
Yeah.
Do the gloves stay in then, or do the gloves come out?
Say that again, sorry.
Do the gloves stay in, or are the
Oh,
gloves?
the gloves come out.
Oh wow, the gloves can come out. Awesome.
It's held on purely by friction once my hand's in the glove.
Ah, see,
I
same with
wanted
this.
the stealth suit to be as independent as possible, as self-sufficient as possible. So I designed it in order for me to be able to put it on myself and to be able to take it off myself, because I can't always guarantee I'm going to have a spotter with me. So front opens when I'm walking around, I can see what I'm doing. But all the components I can take on and put on by myself. Up until the point I ordered the wrong part, and then I needed someone to put them on for me.
I tell you what, you need to get yourself a Harry. Get yourself a Harry.
I've got plenty of options.
I recommend getting yourself a Harry. They're not cheap, mind you. They're not cheap, mind you. They require KFC, beer. They're a handful sometimes, but I love them to bits. Okay, well, since we are literally reaching the end of, because you said about an hour, so I didn't want to keep you from your game.
I just chucked that out as a random target.
That's okay.
I don't think they'll mind.
One last question for you then, because we have done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. We've done 18 of the 20 questions. Well, 19 of the 20 questions, so there's only one more question to go. And that is, where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram, Facebook under XV-22. I've recently started a YouTube channel where I document my builds called the Enclave Forge, which you can go and check out. A couple of the videos. I only started it a couple of weeks ago, so there's only a couple of videos on there, but it goes into depth about the suits, the upgrades I've been doing, if you're interested in how I've actually reskinned and got that smooth surface on my stealth suit, that's where you need to go. You need to go have a look at that video, because I show you the entire process I took to reskin it.
And I take it the links to your YouTube videos are also on your cosplay page on Facebook and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. I know my mod has the links to your Facebook and Instagram, so if people check out his Facebook, the links are there to his YouTube page. So can I just say a huge thank you to Mike of XV-22 Cosplay. Genuinely, I asked a few people. I asked a few people whether they'd like to jump on, and I've had a few like, I'll get back to you and stuff. I think you and two others, but you were the first one I asked. I think you were the first one to be like, yep, I'll see you when I see you. Like, let me know when, and I'll jump on. And I'm like, way, because that's what I needed. That's absolutely what I needed. So I just want to say a huge thank you to Mike. There you go. The links are there. There's also some links coming up from my mod, I believe, in a moment. But can I just say from myself and to Mike, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
I really hope you've enjoyed yourself, because I know I have. I always try to enjoy myself. I always try to make sure people enjoy themselves. I hope everyone in chat has enjoyed themselves, and I want to thank everyone who followed and subscribed. Really, really awesome of you. So thank you again, and I shall probably, hopefully, see you after this whole mess clears up and Warhammer Fest is open again.
On the battlefield.
On the battlefield.
I actually have a weapon this time. I won't need to borrow an axe from the 601st.
Hey, that was a hell of a thing. Just like, or maybe a power hammer. That'd be cool, because I know one of them's got a lot.
I've got a photo of me with a power hammer.
Oh, see, that's what we need. Right, thank you everyone for coming, and we shall see you all again soon. Bye for now.
Bye.